Okay, I'm going to call this one Remembering the CB Radio. Boy, oh boy, I got some stories to tell you people. Let me break it down a little like this. The CB radio was like being in another world. It was like the Twilight Zone for those of you who never experienced it before. It was a place where you could go, you could talk to people, you could meet people, you could physically meet people, and mentally meet people. Oh, be quiet, Tiger. You weren't even around. He likes to get into he likes to talk a lot, my baby. All right. But it was a very, very fun place to be. You got a whole new world of people that were on the CB. The CB was a place where you could let your hair down. You could pretend to be anything you wanted to be, and nobody knew. Everybody that came on the CB, the ones that all acted so tough, they wanted to go around fighting everybody and kicking ass and everything. Those guys were some of the sweetest guys out there. It was really fun. It was a place where you could go and just be yourself and be something you're not. I remember back in the days, well, some of you may not remember this, but when the people from Canarsie saw how much fun we were having at the breaks, they wanted to form their own. But let me start with the breaks. There used to be a place on Coney Island Avenue called Big Daddy's. It was somewhere like around Avenue Z, somewhere like that, Avenue Y. But it was a cool place to be. They had hamburgers and everything. They had a nice big parking lot. And we would all go out down there at night and meet. It was a very fun place. We got to meet so many people. You got to meet all kinds of Mongoloids. You people remember that word. Okay. But what happened was, some people from Canarsie would come over and start fights with people from like Mill Basin, Bergen Beach, Bensonhurst, because everybody from all the neighborhoods would all flock in. But then you had people that wanted to fight on the radio, and then they carried it on to the breaks, and they started fights at the breaks and everything. And then the owners started calling the police on us. So they chased us away. Then eventually, some of us started coming back, the better crowd. The non-violent crowd. And it was pretty good up until they sold. Big Daddy sold it. And that was it. There was no more Big Daddies. So then everybody flocked to another place called Buddy's. Now, Buddy's was connected to a place called Fairyland, which had rides and games, a game room and everything. That was on Utica Avenue at the corner of Fillmore Avenue. It was a pretty cool place. Now it's a Burger King. And the Buddy's, Tiger, be quiet. And Buddy's is no longer there. Fairyland's not there no more. It's just a Burger King and Petco. Well, we had some good fun there, too. Matter of fact, I spent Tiger, stop it. Inside. All right. He always tries to steal the show, my dog. Here, you want to see what he looks like? Here, this is him. He always tries to steal the show. Can you see him, Tiger? Stop talking so much. Okay, I'm talking old. I'm talking old school. All right. I'm back. Oh, big. All right. So then after that, shut up. So after where were we? Buddies. Then everybody started going to Donut Town. And that was a disaster because everybody wanted to fight again. Everybody wanted to fight. There were people that were going there with guns. There was an idiot that shot somebody over something stupid. Anyway, after that, they started all flocking to Sheepshead Bay Bazaar. And that was on Bay Parkway, right off the Bell Parkway. Now it's Toys R Us and oh boy, Wendy's and Kohl's and all of that. But anyway, it used to be fun there. And then people just stopped going. You know. Another place where we used to get our radios fixed was Millie from CB Shop. Well, she used to be CB Shack until she got served with papers that either she changed her name or she was going to be sued because of Radio Shack. So anyway, she named it CB Stop. And that place is not there anymore, by the way, because I took out my radio to blow out some dust, and I wanted to get a new microphone. I go over there, I'm driving, I know where the hell the place was. I used to go there for years. I'm driving around, and the damn place ain't there anymore on the corner. Jesus, all right. Well, needless to say, the CB radio is kind of dead now. Anyway, let me just throw a few names with you guys. Do you remember Artie Windjammer? Well, Arthurella, which was his real name, was a very good friend of mine. Me, him, and the big Leo, the two brothers, Leo, the two gigantic, tall guys, they were the brothers, Leo. We used to go down to Big Daddy's, to the breaks. I was knee-high to a grasshopper back then. I was a little skinny kid with big ears. I must have been about 10 years old. That's how far we're going back. And, let's see, we had Mike Blue Eagle. We had Jay Midnight Raider. You had Jan, which everybody knows is LP number 9. But back in the days, he was called Love Potion number 9. I guess with his getting old, with his old age and everything, Jan, you dropped it down to just LP number 9. Okay. Oh boy, there's so many. I took up enough time. I'll get back with another one in a little bit. Okay, bye. Okay, I'm probably going to name this part 2 of remembering the CB radio. With me, I know everything's about me, right? But anyway, with me, when I started on the CB radio, I lived on Avenue J and East 46th Street. And I used to hang out with, well, really nobody back then because I was too young. I was only about like 8, 9 years old when I was on the CB. It all started from a little walkie-talkie I had. I got a walkie-talkie for Christmas. And when I put it on, all I heard was all of these big power stations. You know, one of them walkie-talkies back in the days where you heard everything and everybody talking and nobody heard you. Well, I used to get on, I used to try to call people, until one day there was this loud voice over my walkie-talkie. And I said, let me try to get that person. And I kept on going, hello, Blue Eagle, Blue Eagle. And then he said to me, yeah, who's calling me? I go, Blue Eagle, because I didn't think he was talking to me. And then he goes, yeah, this is Blue Eagle. Who's this? I go, this is Lester. So then he goes, Lester who? I almost dropped dead. I went running around the house. Somebody hears me. Somebody hears me. Look, look. I'm running around my house. I'm going, what's your name? He goes, Mike. What's yours? I said, I told you, Lester. He goes, oh, I thought that was your handle. I didn't know what the hell a handle was back then. Oh, all right. So that's how Lester stuck with me. This poor guy had a big CB radio. He was right across the street from me on East 46 between I and J. So every time when I would hear him on, hey, Mike, Blue Eagle, how are you? Okay, Lester, how are you? Oh, I'm okay. Lester, stand by. I'm talking to people. Okay. I would stand by 2 seconds later. Mike. And he goes, Lester, forget it. I drove this poor kid crazy. Well, kid. Every 2 seconds. Because I was so happy. I finally got to talk to somebody with this stupid thing. And then what happened was Mike started breaking chops with car services. There was a car service on Avenue M in Utica called Milltown. And they used to be on 22A. And Mike used to splash them because he had a linear. So these car service cars would be coming by, tracking him down. So I would get on when I heard their voices really loud. You know, I would hear like the bass say, car 22, make a pickup. Car 5, make a pickup. And I used to go, car 4, where are you? Or something like that. And then he would say, I'm in front of that guy's house. And I was shocked because another person used to hear me. Anyway, that's how I got the fever for CB. I told my parents, you gotta get me a CB. So next Christmas, they got me one. No, for my birthday, they got me one. Anyway, I used to have a friend named Stephen Volks. And he used to live on East 46th Street. Before he moved on 46th Street, he used to be at East 53rd. Between I and J in those apartment buildings over there. Anyway, he moved to across the street from me, and we started hanging out, and we were talking. I said, watch, this thing really works. And I was breaking poor Mike's chops again. So then I lent it to him, I lent it to Steven, and he bought one. So now me and him were talking, and we were talking to each other and talking to poor Mike. Needless to say, it drove Mike crazy. But anyway, I ended up getting a mobile station and connected it to a power supply. And I got the roof antenna, which I had outside my window back then. And that was some fun times. That's when my life got ruined. You would get on the CB radio and say, oh, I'm only going to be on for 5-10 minutes. And then you get on, and you start talking, and you start listening, and when you want to go shut it off, you say, oh, no, let me leave it on. I want to see what they're saying, see if they're talking about me, or see who they're talking about. So those few minutes ended up being hours, and those hours ended up being all night. Them all night or led into the morning. And then the whole new crew came on in the morning. And then you would want to stay up and talk to them. Oh my God, it was addictive. Okay, I'll make another posting depending on how much feedback I get from these two. If you want me to keep on talking about old times, I will. Okay? For now, signing off. Boy, oh boy, this is like being on CB again. I'm entering another world. Except one without a lot of mongoloids. And maybe one day, who knows? I know a lot of you's moved away. A lot of the CB has passed away. But who knows? Maybe one day we could all get together and have like an old class reunion, family reunion, or in the CB terms, mongoloid reunion, or just a big break. Okay, take care. If I get some good feedback on this, I definitely will post more. And by the way, Steve, Magilla Gorilla, if you watch this, give an email, give us a shout. And anybody else, you can do that too. And Brandy, I know you're listening to this, and you're probably peeing in your pants. But last night when I was talking to you, it wasn't Brandy that I was thinking about. My mind wasn't clear. It was Bacardi. She used to hang out with Frankie Stubbs, who used to be with another kid named Mike Mechanic, and who used to hang out with another crackhead-looking kid named Lee, who lived over there at a park on East 24th and Bedford Avenue. Okay, just to clear that up. All right, take care. This is it. I'm shutting the hell up. I know I'm tired of you people. Bye.